and all the lights just went off, and it's happening, guys. This is how it ends. This is our Blair Witch Project.
Too damn bad. You keep digging.
Welcome to Things I Got Wrong, your general trivia podcast with a healthy dose of internet and meaty things. I'm Ryan Bott.
I'm Rachel Miller.
I'm Stuart Hopkins. Poopy edition.
As the darkness eludes for this Halloween episode.
And Stu was telling us about the witching hour at 3 in the morning.
It's the scariest part of anything.
Now,
Right.
is that brought on by lack of sleep or by actually happening?
I think the number of like UFO abductions, like paranormal encounters, like everything like that is almost always right around 3 in the morning. Like if you look at the reportings of things or any, amateur stories essentially about these things, it's always 3 a.m.
According to Rob Thomas, that's when you must be lonely.
I do maintain that none of those are good things, and that goes with the nothing good happens after 2 in the morning.
No.
Being up late is one of life's great pleasures.
It's because you start working at 12 at night because you choose to.
That's when inspiration hits. That's when good things happen.
You gotta just work when you can work.
I will tell that to my
It is a
bosses
beautiful
that
thing.
expect me there from 9 to 5.
In like middle school and high school, almost every year in the summer, I would completely, fully rotate my sleep schedule, like 180%, till by the end of summer, I was going to bed around 9 or 10 again. And I would just be like, stay up all night, crash at like 10 a.m.
You're a madman.
Most of the latest nights were around like gaming and play like Halo nights and stuff like that. So there were a lot of like all night Halo nights.
We can take this to the next level.
They usually don't, but Ryan will tell you I'm not a traditional Halloween person. Like a lot of girls would go out and like do like sexy maid or sexy kitten. And I was thinking like
Sexy post office worker.
I do sexy
Sexy
I was
library.
thinking fat penguin.
Perfect.
Do you have a favorite Halloween costume or like a best? I definitely have photos as a kid of me in the Wolverine costume going to like the zoo trick-or-treating. That was pretty good.
He also has adorable ones in the white Power Ranger one.
Yeah.
Which you can
and
tell
Sonic.
You can tell he loved.
I had the same.
If you've listened to the podcast at all, you know all of these things at this point.
I had the same bat costume when I was 4, 5, and 6. That just literally a bat. It had green wings on it, and I loved it so much. And by the time I was 6, like the sleeves were half sleeves, and like I managed to squeeze it.
Did you go actual trick or treating?
Oh yeah. Dude.
I'm curious how many people are like, oh, are you the Batman?
No, just a bat. I just wanted the candy.
I did go as fantasy football once, and that was pretty fun.
That was pretty good. I think I went as the kid from Where the Wild Things Are.
Oh, that's awesome.
With the crown.
I just had a Gandalf beard and hair and a makeshift like wizard cone. And
I forget.
I took just a street, just like I think I went to like a Hobby Lobby store and just was like, just give me a long thing of like sparkly looking cloth, and I put it around myself, and then I had a football jersey and a football, and then I had a curtain rod that was long enough to be a staff, and I went as fantasy football.
Oh.
I will tell you though, it is a well-known fact that we have a bunch of Reese's, and the holiday-shaped Reese's, whether it's the pumpkin or the Christmas tree or the Easter egg, are 1,000 times better than normal.
Yeah, the ratios.
Surface area.
Yes.
You have more proper surface area to coat in chocolate.
I like to
goodness.
imagine
This is
Stu's like a scientist with his lab coat and Reese's, and he's like this scalpel. He's like surface area.
The ratio
We
is
ran the
way
numbers.
better.
I have a Python script.
It's like the shaved mac and cheese. It's so much better. Like the SpongeBob or like Scooby Doo shape as opposed to
Rugrats
Or the
shaped
Star
one.
Wars.
or the Star Wars. Anything. I swear this cheese is different. It's way better.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's that powder stuff.
Although they have
but
less noodles in them.
All right, here's my shameful thing that I eat all
He's
the time
literally
that
pulling
I-
a box of Kraft mac and cheese out of his pocket.
Yo, okay, so when I was younger, they used to have the Kraft macaroni and cheese powder in a like shake container. They used to just sell the cheese separately.
God.
It was amazing because we'd have just like plain noodles for dinner or something like as a part of a side. So I just put the cheese on there and it's delicious. One day, I, as a kid, discovered, hey, if you cook ramen without the seasoning packet and then drain the water out of it, those noodles with the Kraft macaroni and cheese powder is the most delicious thing on the goddamn planet.
Gosh.
They don't sell it anymore. Like, the cheese is not a thing anymore, so I will buy clearance boxes of Kraft mac and cheese and just take the fucking powder
Oh
off
my
it.
god, this
Get
is
rid of
genius.
this trash. I'm
I
only
just
here for the
throw
cheese
out the noodles.
powder.
I'm a madman.
That's the most
All right.
endearing thing I've heard, and I feel much better about the fact that every once in a while I go to the store and
You
I'm
eat
in a
them with
mood and I get a bunch of SpaghettiOs.
Yes.
So
Yes.
SpaghettiOs are another thing that I probably loved as a child. I remember going to my grandpa's house and having them, but like I don't think I could eat.
Yeah,
I also
I mean,
just
that's the
imagine
addiction.
like next to the Tang is like that orange powder, and then Kraft cheese powder is like right there,
Yeah,
the same thing.
No,
Close.
Is there even real cheese in that, or is it just pure like
no, it's
MSG?
cheese.
I think it's just garbage.
Probably pure MSG.
Probably. It's like the powdered Parmesan. Like, it's really just saturated fat. Like, that's all that it is.
As I eat more candy, nom nom. That stuff too. Like I don't.
don't look
The
at
amount-
it. Don't look at it. It'll ruin your life.
The amount of.
Yeah.
All right, shall we get into trivia?
Sure.
Well, in the meantime, this is the 30th ever episode.
Over the hill.
30,
We're dead.
quite Halloween-esque, although that'd be more 31 or 13. I don't know. In this round-robin game, all four of us bring a round of trivia for the other three to answer, and all four of us will vie for all of the trick-or-treat candy on the table in the world.
Unfortunately, we've eaten like half of it.
Well, all that's left goes to the winner.
I have hoarded my own stash over here.
There are two professionals right here. And I think this side of the table might have lacked in the planning process.
Professional.
Well, because Stu's got everything ready. Ryan's basically in charge, and then the two of us over here are
That's probably a better life to choose.
Well, let's get started with trivia. And Stu, it is your first round.
Thank you. Alrighty. In Halloween spirit, my round is going to be all about vampires.
Ooh,
Alrighty. Question number 1.
vampire.
Porphyric hemophilia is the disease that turns you into a vampire in what mainstream video game series?
Rachel.
Alright. Rachel.
Castlevania?
Ooh, Ryan. Castlevania? Or no, crap.
No.
That's the second time that's happened on the show.
Good for you.
Crap. What's Castle Wolfenstein?
No.
that's what I was gonna
Getting
say.
closer, though. Anybody who's played any of these games will have...
Say
No.
it again.
Okay.
That is... Porphyric hemophilia is the disease that turns you into a vampire in what mainstream video game series? There are,
Oh man.
I believe, 5 of these games now, and they are working on the 6th.
Yeah, man.
I don't have second
I have
hints.
I
no-
for
know.
I-
I think it doesn't have to be. Is this
It is a-
retro?
It is a fantasy game, and
Fantasy.
it has been released originally on PC, and it's gone all the way up to pretty much every console nowadays.
Oh, I was going to ask if it was just WoW or something.
No.
Is this retro?
No, it's not retro.
Is it Dark Souls?
It's not Dark Souls.
Is it the other one?
The Elder Scrolls.
Oh,
If you've ever gotten an encounter with a vampire or bitten by a rat too many times, you develop
saying they're working on the
hyphoric-
6th one. That should have been
Oh.
obvious. But
Right, you develop
playing
hyphoric
it.
hemophilia.
I have.
I've been playing it.
I can't do the huge open world games that
Well,
Well,
much.
I've
Like,
never
I played,
encountered
so much.
vampires, so I didn't know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I played a little bit of Morrowind. That was 3 or 4. I played
Morrowind
a little
was
bit
3.
of
Yeah.
whatever
Oblivion.
was after Oblivion, and I've played a little bit of Skyrim, but I just can't do huge open world
I
games.
love
They're not
them.
my style.
I love them. I spent many summers as a kid playing Oblivion. But yeah, even in Morrowind, that was, I think, the first real instance of the spell or the disease that as soon as you got hit by it,
Yeah.
came up on the screen. It was like, you've developed hyphoric hemophilia. And then 3 days later or whatever, you're a vampire. Like, good luck.
I think
Oh, I was gonna say, so you have to find a cure quick. Good
That's
luck.
crazy.
it's like I have it on your PS4,
Mhm.
and I played it a little bit. Problem being that I started a new replay of
Dragon Age.
Dragon Age for the millionth time, and of course that's taken over my life again. But I will get back to it.
Yes.
Well, hurry up quick, because they're about to release the 6th one in 3 more years,
Well, I will work on it when I have some time.
which is maybe in
Maybe.
3 more years.
Right. We're gonna stack these up in a storage locker for you. No points for question number 1. Question number 2. Nosferatu was the first vampire in media to be killed by what?
Rachel,
Rachel.
Sunlight.
Correct.
Oh,
I know
Sunlight
that
or
one.
daylight.
I was going to say Silver Bullet.
It was like a really early movie, so it was like that was the time when like having like guns on screen was outlawed.
Right. 2 points to Rachel there. And on to question number 3. Other than transforming into bats, Traditional folklore around vampires says that they have other transformations or supernatural powers. Name 2. You get 1 point for each. Other than bats.
Rachel. Invisibility?
No.
Can you define, like, this is an actual transformation? Or
right,
this
like-
is just like, because I was going to say, like, mirror reflection, but that's probably doesn't count as one, right?
No, like, I mean, they can physically transform into a bat. They can
Yeah.
transform into other animals. At least the traditional folklore around them has it, so they could. Or
Okay.
animals dash...
Creatures. Ryan. Cat?
No. There's also, like, powers, like they have supernatural powers.
Rachel, like there's super strength?
Kind of. That's actually like a further thing. It's not traditional folklore. It was like
Okay.
listed in like the 50s or something.
That's not canon.
It's not canon for
Oh, I'm
vampires.
sorry.
These are actually turning out to be a lot harder than I expected. Okay.
And they also like can like control people by looking in their eyes. I've heard of that one.
I've seen What We Do in the Shadows.
Right. So for transformations, they traditionally can transform into like a mist or a fog.
Oh,
If you've ever played the Castlevania
yeah.
series, there's a couple
should
of
have
different
known that.
Draculas in there that can do this. They can also transform into a wolf or a dog. And then for powers, they actually can control the weather, spread plagues, and they heal in the moonlight. As far as
Very
something.
weird.
you learn something more every day.
Is that your Irish vampire?
I try to do accents and they kind of all morph into quasi-Irish.
she watched the Lord of the Rings. before she
Yamada's
started
bacon
playing.
potatoes, bah.
I did a lot of research about vampires. There's a Wikipedia article or page that is literally charts of every vampire count in media and like what their powers are, and like it's graphed. It's a whole huge table. Like it's ridiculous. Question number 4. OCD is often cited as a side effect of vampirism. Which famous vampire is inspired by this trait?
Ryan, Vlad the Impaler?
It's not. No.
Isn't that Dracula?
Think New Age media. One
Is
of
this from a specific bit of media? Like
yes,
movie
like
or
this is a
something?
very specific vampire in media now. It's right. I mean, it could have been anything.
Rice or
That's
something.
how you
Yeah.
catch a vampire?
Well, no, they used to say that was a defense. So, like, if a vampire came knocking to your house, you throw this outside the front of your house because they literally like have compulsive like tendencies to count and pick them up. They will just
Weird.
do that until it's done.
So you're just like, I'm a hoarder. And they're like, I don't know. I can't. I
Well,
can't.
I mean, kind of, yeah. So, like, that was considered like a defense mechanism.
So, can I guess?
Yeah,
Is it Things We Do in the Shadows?
it's not. No,
Okay, that's the only New Age one I want.
I don't have anything.
it is the Count from Sesame Street.
That's brilliant. That's
That was
absolutely
really good.
brilliant.
A two.
Which is literally
Funny.
how they came up with the concept for him. Was they were just looking at folklore. Awesome. No points for question number 4. Question number 5. What is the last name of the famous vampire hunting family created by
Konami.
No.
Is that the end of the question?
Yeah.
I know what this is referenced to, and
This would also be the vampire family from the Castlevania series.
I love
My
the
God.
anime. I absolutely adore the anime. It's Trevor.
I've played so little
Trevor,
of these.
Yep.
I can't remember the last family.
Mordecai?
No. It's
No.
not Mordecai.
No, it's
Mersaferit? Something like that?
No, it's not.
Okay. Was that even close, or were you just egging me
No,
on?
that was not even
Belmont.
close.
Belmont.
Yes, it's Belmont.
I hadn't guessed before on this one.
Okay.
I sat
think
there
it's two.
umming and saying I knew it, and that I knew the first name of the guy.
2 points for
Oh
Rachel.
my
then.
god, that's the title of certain games too. Isn't there a Castle Belmont
Um,
game?
I don't know if there actually is. I
can't
know that like
remember.
it's. I mean, their names are pretty
Yeah.
up there on as far as like the lore of the whole thing.
Oh
Like,
man, I should
yeah,
have known that
Richter,
one.
Trevor Belmont. Alrighty, question number 6 and the last question of the round. What disease is attributed to the real-world outbreaks of vampirism?
No,
Rabies causing causing sensitivity to sunlight, tendency to bite people, and traits of madness or aggression. Rabies is attributed to a lot of things, but depending on the time and the culture impact, it could be any number of things. 28 days later, I believe the zombie virus in that, or the rage virus, is a mutation of rabies.
Yeah.
It's a common theory and idea.
look out for those squirrels, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's the end of round number 1. I have it at Rachel with 4, myself and Stu just holding down the fort.
Handing out candy.
Halloween decorations.
ahead of it.
For Ryan, it's
Right,
Christmas
Ryan's
lights
way
for
ahead of
year
the game.
round.
I know. I'm Christmas all the time.
According to Joanne Fabrics, July is the start of Christmas.
Hey, that fort is going to be decked out. All right, Rachel, you have round number 2.
Okay, so most of you guys know Halloween is, as predicted, based off of a pagan holiday, festival, and ritual. Thus, in the spirit of Halloween, in this round, for 2 points, I will name the pagan ritual, holiday, or festival, or the purpose behind it. And you will tell me the festival. Now, these are like best guesses and some predictions by experts. Some of them have been disputed,
Experts.
but
Pagan experts.
there are people
know.
that study this for a living.
I say we have to go toe to toe with experts.
I'm not an expert. I'm just saying I took stuff from them. And then, so if no one gets it, I'm going to follow up the location, a deity, purpose, just some additional information that will get you much closer to the answer for 1 point.
Let's go trick or treating.
So, for example, in a question where the answer would be Halloween, I would say it originated with the festival of Samhain, where people would light bonfires and ward off ghosts. That would be the first clue. And the second clue would be, and in the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated All Saints' Day as November 1st. So to Christianize it, people made Hallows Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And incorporated many of the pagan traditions, so kept many of the traditions by making and made it more Christian.
Gotcha.
So
All right.
that's just how they'll go, and I hope it goes well. I am very scared it's going to end up being much harder than anticipated. This holiday is thought to have its roots as the Roman festival day of the birth of the unconquered sun.
What?
Yes, the festival was to celebrate the winter solstice and the rebirth of the sun, heralding the return of spring. Now, there's some dispute as to whether it has the connection here, but since it falls on the same day, that's generally a lot of the assumption is.
Gotcha.
So, question number 2. This festival finds its name in that of a nature-celebrating Germanic goddess. She was the goddess of spring and renewal and is attached to the vernal equinox. Yes, and the small animals associated with it, such as eggs and chicks and rabbits, are associated in Germanic folklore with as symbols of life, regrowth, rebirth, fertility, all of that.
And cute bunnies.
Question number 3. Confusing because I have the first example one labeled as 1, so this was actually labeled as number 4, so I'm going to screw this up at some point. So question number 3. This holiday had festivals both dedicated to the Roman god Janus and the Babylonian gods Marduk and Tiamat.
Ryan?
Go ahead, Ryan.
New Year's Day?
That is correct. Janus is the god of new beginnings.
And
that's
June
Like
is
January.
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 Nice job.
Thank you.
Question number 4. I am hedging my bets a little bit that you guys have watched Netflix, the new Netflix Sabrina. This is thought by some scholars to have its origins with the Roman festival of Lupercalia.
Ryan.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Valentine's Day?
That is correct. In this festival, a goat and dog were sacrificed, and then their hides were used to hit women, which was thought to deliver aid with fertility. That's the article I read.
Was this under the full moon mating ritual thing?
So there's actually Sabrina really took it in a lot of the sex aspect of it, but what I was reading is there's no actual evidence to say there was orgies or big things going on there, that it was more of a hey,
I celebrate it every
slap
year.
this and
Beat you with a goat.
well no, it's so what I was reading is they would run past, hit you once and keep running and find the next person and do it. Apparently it was normal and it was on the same day every year, so it was very expected and predicted, but
I just can't imagine what it'd be like to live in a time like that. But we don't hit people with dead animal skins expecting that to help with fertility. Though I guess we do all sorts of crazy shit.
Not-
I can't believe people drank alcohol, you know.
That, we
What a
look back.
twisted world it'll be. That's what they believed in the 1920s too.
Hey, we look back and like people like Roman times, in some areas the water was unsafe to drink. So for every meal you had wine or ale. It would be diluted, but
That's true. Yeah.
So question number 5. The first known iterations of this type of festival are with 2 Roman festivals. One was called Sibyl. This one's a little tougher. This, how much you celebrate it actually might vary heavily from family to family.
It's called what? Sorry?
The first one was called Cybele. Cybele is the spelling I have.
Nothing.
Valentine's Day?
No, we just did Valentine's.
Oh, that's right. Duh.
Actually, hint number 2 is the other one was called, please bear with me as I try to pronounce this, Matronalias. And they were goddesses of fertility and nature.
Mother's Day?
That is correct. Reason I didn't say them all in the first clue.
Sibyl. It doesn't ring a bell at all. The word doesn't really mean anything that I can tell.
I doesn't mean anything to me, but they appear, like from my knowledge, they're probably just lesser Greek goddesses who.
Yeah.
And last but not least, question number 6. So the origins of this particular holiday are pretty sketchy, but there are several options that have been considered. There are, one of the biggest one is primitive festivals honoring the New Year, or the Roman Saturnalius festival.
Oh,
I know.
Saturnalia.
We're going to think if this is a things we got wrong moment.
Ryan.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Is this Thanksgiving?
That is not Thanksgiving.
What is it from?
No, not holiday.
I know that was the example question, but I don't know. Maybe you could twist it around.
So, hint number 2. It's also possible that this holiday / festival season could have roots at as a celebration at the time. It was to eat, that everyone had to eat all stores that they had over winter before they would go bad near the beginning of spring. In modern day, I'm just going to fill in a little bit. This particular festival is well known for lots of rich food, dancing, and partying. It might be one day, it might be several.
Is this Mardi Gras?
I'm going to give that one to you.
Okay.
It's Mardi Gras / Carnival. It's kind of, they fit together. Like in this, like Mardi Gras definitely in my research came along with the Christian thing, but Carnival, like Mardi Gras is the culmination at the end of, at the end of Carnival. But so there was a bunch of theories with it. One of the biggest ones is it would make sense as your stores were about to go bad. So you did have to finish eating them, or else you would have to waste if you were poor. So
gotcha. Okay.
Lots of thoughts. We'll say that a lot of the scholars are kind of, might be this, might be that, and some of them say like it's just a coincidence that they ended up on the same day. But
Trying to pull in a lot of that information from what I remembered of it, because I remember it was like multiple Roman gods and like Titans or something like that. Pulled a lot of. I don't remember where any of this was coming from.
Titans are Greek.
Lots of something about planets that we were pulling in from.
I think that's Hercules.
We're all doing well. Like that was actually, I'm very proud of you guys. That was a hard round.
I remember Danny DeVito. All right, that is halftime.
Ooh, I left the bowl at the door. I'm out.
Halloween is over at the fort.
One kid's back.
That's right.
The lights are out at the fort. All right, I have round number 4. Bringing it home. This is just some general Halloween trivia. Just some potpourri, a little bit of everything.
Does it smell nice too?
It smells like pumpkin spice.
Okay, that's the biggest question about it.
Sorry, my favorite thing that I always remember is there's an episode of, I think it's Fairly Odd Parents, to where they're doing a trivia thing, and he's like, the next round will be potpourri, and Timmy looks and he's like, a question about smelly stuff.
That was always on, like, that's the Jeopardy one. Potpourri is just general.
It's just anything,
randomness,
right?
Yeah.
It's just random stuff.
Okay, so I have a story about pronouncing things from today. When I was little, I thought it was called potpourri because I just didn't get the T issue there, and I heard somebody pronounce arithmetic today as arithmetic.
I've actually seen that.
Don't you get that in your knee?
And it really it just confused me because this person was a big scientist who was really well versed in math and stuff and was 60 years old, and I was I'm sure it is common in some places, but.
Question number 1. What best-selling candy bars are named after the Mars family's favorite horse? This would be Mars Candy, Mars family's favorite horse. Rachel.
Snickers.
Yes, this would be Snickers. Snickers, the family horse. All right. Question number 2. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society is the creepy motto refrain from what 90s TV show?
Stu.
Right. Sorry, Stu.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Yes.
Nice.
Are you afraid of the dark? Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society as they gather around the campfire. There was a Are You Afraid of the Dark movie, and it had a little leprechaun thing, and that thing scared the crap out of me as a kid. That was one of the most intense things I remember seeing as a kid.
Oh, God.
It was that. It was a carousel.
Right.
Yes, that is. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Submitted. Apparently, that's coming back. All right, 2 points of Stu there. Question number 3. How many killers were revealed in the original movie Scream?
Stu.
3. Not 3.
Rachel.
2. Yes. I feel like these points are not properly earned, but I'll give them to you.
Well, no. When I was I have a rationale behind this. To my knowledge, the original Scary Movie has 2 killers. As much as I remember, I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure it's a spoof of Scream.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I'm pretty sure it had 2. It's been a while since I've seen it, so that's my rationale.
Earned.
I revert
my judgment.
I've never seen any of those.
And I've never seen the original Scream movie.
Really?
Nope.
I thought we watched maybe the second or third one with friends at one point.
No, we watched Children of the Corn.
Oh, no, we did, but we watched a Scream. I think we watched the second Scream movie at one point.
I mean, I might have had my eyes closed.
Children of the Corn is god awful.
I used to, when I was younger and a teenager, obviously I grew up off of a busy highway surrounded by cornfields. And
obviously.
My friends and I used to just stand at the very edge of the corn.
Yell Mordecai
in the middle of the night and just slowly walk out just to fuck with people. And we saw plenty of brake lights shoot up many times. And then we just fucking book it back through the corn.
That's amazing.
That's the best thing I've ever heard.
Does anyone have a stab at it for no points for the names? Or has anybody?
No. I've never seen it.
It was Billy and it was Stu.
Oh.
You're the killer.
Oh, God.
Stu's too nice, though.
That's how they get you. All right, 2 points to Rachel there. Question number 4. What classic horror movie is located in Haddonfield, Illinois? Rachel.
Psycho.
Not Psycho. Classic horror movie located in Haddonfield, Illinois. Is Haddonfield a real place in Illinois? I don't know. You guys are the resident Illinois. Stu, any guess?
Friday the 13th.
Not Friday the 13th. It is Mike Myers' Halloween, Haddonfield, Illinois.
Actually, maybe Haddonfield is a real place. I don't know.
Question number 5. This one may play into Rachel's category a little bit. Which traditional Halloween game has its origins in the Roman harvest festival that honored the goddess of fruit trees, Pomona? Supposed to be bobbing for apples.
I tried to play it once, and I absolutely hated it. I was thinking, some people are really enjoying it. I'm like, why do I want to stick my face in the water and try to
get... It's close to torture.
I'm being forced to repeatedly stick my face in the water until I can grab an apple, which are hard enough to do with your hands. I have thoughts.
You gotta have fangs, and you don't bite the apple, you just stab it with your teeth, and then there you go.
Hey, I get my incisors carved down every time I go to the dentist because they're really
all
sharp.
Of us, yeah. It's important. It's that time of the year. Yep, the Roman harvest festival honoring the goddess of fruit trees, Pomona. It has a squiggly red line in front of me, so you know.
Arithmetic.
Question number 6, the last question of the game. What Halloween product got its name from loosely combining the words yes from 2 different languages? What Halloween product got its name from loosely combining the words yes from 2 different languages.
No, my dumbass brain is like seaweed.
Is this like a candy or
Narrowing it down might give it away.
like a costume or a candy? Like not even like
non-edible. I have a second clue, but me and Rachel are tied.
that seems oddly manipulative.
That would break the show. That would break the game. The game would have to end.
Stu would default win.
What Halloween product got its name from loosely combining the word yes from both the French and German language?
Ouija.
I have Rachel with 10 points, myself with 10 points, and Stu with 5 points.
Rachel dissents.
I want to see a 3-team tiebreaker go.
Can you give me a moment?
Yeah.
So Stu has come up with an alternative overtime final sudden death way to determine this.
I never thought I would be the one giving the question for the tiebreaker.
Original Kraid holding all the power.
Right. This is kind of nice, actually. How's it? Right. I feel like you guys have all come back to the fort for candy, and I've locked the door.
We've all come back home on Halloween night with our bags full of candy.
We accidentally left Stu.
And only one can enter by giving me all your candy, or half. Riddle me this.
Oh my God.
So in spirit of Halloween and having a 3-way tie, the question I have for you is going to be name a movie that is either Halloween themed, specifically Halloween themed, or movies with Halloween scenes in them. So we're not talking like, like Nightmare on Elm Street doesn't have a Halloween scene in it,
Sure,
so it doesn't count. It's just a horror film. We're talking about movies with Halloween in them.
All right. Crap.
If this is too hard, I can switch to it.
No, let's do it.
Question.
Okay. We're going to go around until somebody gets it wrong, to which they are then out of the running. There's 100 of them on this list.
Oh my God. These are movies. These are not TV shows?
These are movies.
Okay.
Halloween themed movies and movies with Halloween themes.
Okay.
Or scenes, sorry. Alrighty, I will give everybody just a moment.
It starts.
Alrighty. Do we want to start with Ryan or Rachel?
We'll start with Rachel.
Start with Rachel because she's confident. Alrighty. Starting with Rachel.
Halloween.
Yes.
I actually wasn't sure about that. The one I want to keep going back to is Stranger Things. It's like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yes. Apparently the find is not.
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
Ooh.
Rachel?
Halloween Town.
Yes. Ryan?
Sidebar, is there a third one? Oh my God, I just had one. I just had something in my head.
All right, there's a couple of these that you absolutely know.
I hate my life. I just had one in my head. Addams Family.
Let me check.
I now, as I said that, remember the one that was in my head.
Addams Family is actually not on the list.
Oh.
They probably had it in the TV.
Also,
the most
this
recent
find
one
on
I
page
watched
might
was
not
about
be
killing
working.
their little brother.
Da-na-na-na.
No, Addams Family is not on the list. Rachel?
Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's a Halloween special. I can't recall if it would qualifies as a movie. Because if it doesn't, I have another movie. So, is it Charlie Brown? I can't
that's a good one. That's a movie.
That's a movie. It's not on the list, but that's a movie.
Okay.
And yes, that is because it's obviously how they trick or treat.
How can we be certain?
Yeah, it's not like, it's not like a full length movie, but it's not a TV show either. That's why I was kind of concerned.
That's interesting. Maybe if it's a TV special.
Right. Does that? I mean, there's a lot of things on here that's like Disney Channel stuff.
If it's just an hour-long TV special, it's probably not a movie.
But it was shown in theaters, I think, when it first came out.
Right.
That's
Plus, also you can buy it on DVD.
Yeah, and you can,
Because then it's like,
it's somewhere in between. That's the thing. It's not a TV show, but that's also like Halloween Town is a TV special. Like it's not.
But it was a Disney Channel original movie.
Okay, but it is a TV special in the same sense. Like it's only shown then.
Right.
Was it on Disney?
It was on Disney.
I don't know.
Nice poll on there, and it's scared stupid, by the way. It's not on the list, but
It's a Great Pumpkin. Charlie Brown is a 25-minute TV show.
oh,
Confirmed.
Halloween Town High.
Halloween Town High is a movie.
Alrighty.
Keep it rolling.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure the Melissa Joan Hart Sabrina movie that came out, I believe that one had a Halloween. I cannot recall. I don't recall the exact title, but I know it was Melissa Joan Hart.
It's not on the list.
I don't. It's been a long time.
But I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can neither confirm nor deny.
Searching for a Sabrina movie.
I think it was a movie.
There is a 95 Sabrina. I don't know if that's Melissa Joan Hart, though.
It is. It might not be. She might have been in the TV show.
This one has Harrison Ford. Doesn't have Melissa Joan
Julie
Hart.
Ormond.
Sounds iffy.
I thought that's definitely a TV show. Teen Wolf's a TV show.
But it's based off of a movie.
Oh, it is? Okay, so we've just been listing things that are not on the list.
Wait, so what happens if you guys both bail out on the single round? Because I have one that's worth double.
Earlier.
It's worth enough to get me back in.
Yeah?
Is this ignoring who answered questions, or?
I feel like this is not a very good tiebreaker. I kind of feel
well,
like
the problem is that
like
both people got out on the same loop.
Right.
Well, I'll bow out, although I was going to say Casper.
Oh, Casper is on the list.
Oh,
also,
Casper.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, my gosh.
Casper,
or Monster
based
House.
on the rules and legislation of Things That Are Wrong, is worth 3 points.
Is
For
this
both
the rules and
sponsorship
legislation?
as well as...
Is this the legislation that was just made up so that you could win?
No.
Allegedly. All right, here we go. So I will humbly bow myself out of this one.
Yeah, there's no humility here about that.
Stu, I need a number 1 through 5.
4.
All right.
No.
All right. Between the two of you, you have to go back and forth, giving me a word on this list. If you cannot come up with one or cannot come up with one in a reasonable time, you will be out. The other person has a chance to guess a word. If they guess that word, they will be declared the winner. There are 50 words used to write the book Green Eggs and Ham. You will go back and forth, giving me words from that list. Rachel.
Not.
Yes, Knots is on the list. Mm-hmm. Sam is on the list. I is on the list. Also, I will, before we get any further, if you repeat one, you will also be out. Not, Sam, I, am, all on the list.
Will
is on the list. Green is on the list.
Eggs
is on the list. Ham is on the list.
And
is on the list. Eats is on the list.
You. Why are you?
You is on the list. Need an answer? All right. Rachel wins the tiebreaker and takes home the game.
So, I pretty much have this book memorized.
The 50 words are A, am, and, anywhere, are, be, boat, box, car, could, dark, do, eat, eggs, fox, goat, good, green, ham, here, house, I, if, in, let, me, may, mouse, not, on, or, rain, Sam, say, see, so, think, that, them. This is basically just refraining the whole book.
Yes. So
them, there, they, train, tree, try, tree, try, tree, will, with, would, and you. Well done, Rachel.
This is the Dr. Seuss book I was read the most, along with the one about In the Dark in the Park and the thing that they're bringing home.
Oh.
And they're going to name it Clark. Will our mother like it? We don't know.
That's the end of the game. Nice job, Rachel.
Vindication.
Vindication on the longest tiebreaker we've ever had to deal with. Let's get to some picks. Each episode, a couple of us give a movie, a game, experience, something cool like that we recommend you check out. And today, Stu has a pick.
I do. Mine is a podcast. It's a popular podcast, but maybe not a lot of people actually have heard of it. It is a podcast called Sawbones that talks about medical mysteries and the history of medical technology. It's by a popular podcaster named Justin McElroy and his wife, Sydney, who's a doctor, an actual medical doctor. And they talk about just the history of medical practices and stuff, like how we used to use mercury for curing everything, when really it did nothing but poison us, and fun things like that. The podcast show is actually pretty vast in the amount of episodes they have, and it's all pretty fascinating too. They actually came out with a book recently, which is really, really cool. It has some like medical diagrams or at least like drawings in there with just some old-timey photographs that, suit the show itself.
Sounds really cool. I'll definitely check it out at work because that's definitely...
McElroy is My Brother, and Me?
It is, yes.
Okay.
It is My Brother, Me, and Me, The Adventure Zone, and many, many others. But Sawbones is one that, granted, it's been out for a while. Like, it is a popular show, but it's really nice because it's not one that has to be sequential. It doesn't build on jokes or anything like that. It's very much like what is in the title of the episode is what the episode is about, and you can just pick the things that interest you.
I prefer those actually. Generally, like aside from like the D&D podcast,
right?
Like, I prefer those because sometimes it might be able to like go weeks or even months when I have time to listen to them, and it's really hard if you don't recall some of the jokes.
Right. And this is just nice because it's like half hour to an hour episodes. You can just pick it up really quick, and when you're done listening to it, you're like, wow, I actually learned a lot from that one.
Nice. Certainly, none of our listeners are like that.
No.
So that's Sawbones.
Sawbones.
Okay. I don't know if I'll listen to it because I am ungodly squeamish about everything.
It's amazing, actually. As a gift for Halloween.
You joke, but it's the truth.
Quit egging them on.
All right. I have a pick. My pick is a service on the iPad, since I'm playing around with my iPad right now. It is Apple Arcade, which is certainly available to a lot of people now. I downloaded it just thinking I would try out the free trial and just kind of play around with it and stuff. And there are some awesome games on it. And I think especially since we have some travel coming up and different stuff, probably going to be holding on to it for a while. So Apple Arcade available on basically every iOS device, including Apple TV and everything else. Really, really fun. And I have a couple games I can recommend. But this thing is awesome. It's like, it makes casual gaming so much better, and it's like so easy to just dive into a bunch of games. Like I remember when I had like Xbox's Game Pass, the games I spent the most time playing were just like random little puzzle games or like dumb little like baseball games that I would never spend $1 on, but because it was free, it was like super fun. So there's a game called, I have 3 I could probably give. One is What the Golf, which we played. We put it on, I think, the Instagram at one point. What the Golf is essentially a mini putt-putt golf game for people who probably don't like golf, and it is amazing as anyone else in the gaming space who has a history of it, because it has a ton of callbacks to old games.
Awesome.
All sorts of stuff. It's really, really cool. Like, it's almost, I don't want to spoil anything just because it's like really cool to discover for the first time, but it's a game that is constantly, as soon as you know how it works, it throws a curveball.
Nice.
Really, really fun.
With a dad pun attached.
With dad puns all across the board.
My kind of game.
Oh, there's still
yeah.
20 games that I want to play, haven't even gotten around to.
Do they have the Space Cadet pinball from Windows 2000?
I don't know if they have that. One of
would be amazing.
One of the other games I was going to recommend is a game called Pinball Wizard, where you are essentially a ball-shaped wizard, and you are dungeon crawling through a pinball scenario. So you have flippers, and you're hitting bad guys and stuff, and you're collecting gems and keys and stuff, and you're essentially
You're trying to. You're like this little pinball wizard, and so like your wizard is the little ball. Like you've got them like hitting like the bad guys and hitting the little things, hitting like little health barrels, trying to like get the key to the next level. So like,
and you're
it's like a
dungeon crawling through it essentially.
That's
but every
awesome.
level is this pinball shaped circle with flippers. That one's really fun. The other one I would recommend is this game called Grindstone, which is sort of, it's also kind of a dungeon crawler-esque thing. This is essentially the free. So the great thing about Apple Arcade is that you pay $4.99. None of the games have in-app purchases or anything like that. So you essentially have I just lost the name, the Jewel one, the famous one, Candy Crush, where essentially you have sort of a Candy Crush-esque game where all the things that fall are these little, like you're dungeon crawling again. You're this giant like orc-looking dude with a sword, and you're making these chains of creatures, and there's like, red and blue and green and yellow and different colored little grunts, and you're chaining through them as well as like getting keys and going through different levels and stuff like that. And Grindstone is definitely the one that I've probably played almost every day for a little bit. That's the one I keep coming back to. Most of these kind of games, I don't know if I would pay $1 or $2 on, but it's like having the service. You have everything in front of you. It's like there's so much cool stuff. We have an Apple TV at the house, and you can hook up a PlayStation controller to it or an Xbox controller. Yeah, they actually sell controllers now on like the Apple Store of PS4, Xbox, which is really cool. So you just hook it up, you can play all those games. Game Center saves all that stuff, so each player can have, especially if you're a family, like you can have 5 accounts. There's a couple quick ones. There's a game called Tint, which is essentially you have like a watercolor book, like a art book, and it's just a puzzle game where you're connecting colors. There's one called Possessions where you have this like interior design house that you're rotating to make images click, and once they click you get the thing. And then it's sort of this story of this man who starts a family and the possessions in his life deteriorate his life away.
It's like the saddest thing in the world. Like you can see his life going downhill. Like
But games tend to have a weird thing with like sadness and depressing stories.
Yeah, kind of. That's it. If you're listening at home, let us know your favorite Apple Arcade games for playing them, or anything else you have. We really want to start like getting into some viewer questions or anything like that. So if you have a pick of your own or anything else that you think listeners would enjoy, trivia topic idea, email them to thingsigotwrong@gmail.com. Also check out the website thingsigotwrong.com, which now has a full episode index for each episode.
Ryan's extremely proud of this. He's been working very hard.
Been working really hard. Have some really awesome new stuff, some merch, some t-shirts coming out very, very soon.
We're going to make all the money on merch.
Maybe by the time you're hearing this or the next one. Spoiler, we won't be making any money on merch because it is...
It's a break even.
It's mostly...
I did not confer. I was not signing my intellectual property away to make no money on shirts.
We can peel back the kimono a little bit. We have a couple t-shirt designs and some stickers. Actually, I have stickers.
Oh my gosh.
Right here.
Can go right on my LERP terp.
We've got stickers.
Oh, they're
Oh
so
my
big.
gosh. Thank you.
We got stickers. We have a logo sticker.
Hi.
You have one
Thank
already.
you.
I want another.
That was great.
We have a logo t-shirt coming out pretty soon and a pretty sweet Holding Down the Fort t-shirt. So if they're not available by the time we're listening, I think they will be. On the off chance they're not, they will be certainly by the next episode. Check out the Instagram, check out the Twitter, all that stuff at Things I Got Wrong. We have some really cool stuff. We'll be doing like free shipping and everything, like really just trying to hook up the audience if they're interested. Our next episode will be around November 15th. We have cool stuff. We're super excited about leading into the new year and all that stuff. But we have the store going pretty soon. Lots of stuff. So talk to us, like I said, on Twitter, on Instagram, at Things I Got Wrong, all that stuff. New episode coming out around November 15th. So keep an eye out on that. At the table, live, Halloween.
Woo.
Samhain is upon us. The darkness eludes.
Spooky.
And until then, we will see you later.
Bye everybody.